Hey friends, happy Wellness Wednesday. I'm recording this on Wednesday, the 24th of November, day before Thanksgiving. And as you can probably tell, because it's not messy in the background, I'm in my office still. It's about 1:30, 1:20. We did close early today, but I wanted to stay just to clear off my desk, and I'm going to be leaving in just a few minutes. But I wanted to take some time to give you just a couple of things I've been thinking about over the last few weeks. Now that it's Thanksgiving, it's that holiday time and that time where everything starts to go crazy if it hasn't already. So I wanted to just give you 4 tips, just 4 things to think about this Thanksgiving as we get prepared for an even bigger holiday to come, Christmas. So number 1 is don't stretch yourself too thin. I know, pot, kettle, but really this is the time where a lot of us go a little bit crazy and life kind of explodes with all sorts of things to do with family, at church, with work. There's just so much happening. And then all that extra shopping that takes place for gifts, for food, for decorating the house, everything that happens. So really, it's the time to sit down and really reflect on what's important. Prioritize. What are the things that I know need to get done, and what are the things that really don't have to? There's a great episode of Gilmore Girls where they're getting ready to open their own inn. They've bought an inn. Lorelai and her best friend have bought an inn, and they're getting ready to open, and they're going crazy. They're rushing around. They're tired. It's just exhausting. And so she finally stops and says, we're not enjoying this experience at all. We're so busy and we're so running around doing everything and stressed that we're not enjoying it. So they decide that each of them is going to drop one thing on their list and not do it. And not with guilt, just with no guilt, nothing, just let it go. And so they decide that instead of having 8 choices of desserts, they have 6. And they decide that they don't need the hand embroidered pillows to be ready right at the first day. And little things that they're able to take off their list and realize, this isn't really a priority. This isn't necessary for the opening day. Let's take it off and relieve a little stress. So I invite you to do that. When you're looking at your long list of to-dos, ask yourself what's really important here and let go of what's not. Also, let go of those things that you can't control. There have been a couple of holidays since I moved up here to Fresno that weather has prevented me from going to visit my family for the holidays. And at first it would really stress me out. I'd be worried. I'd be watching the news. I'd wake up at midnight and see if there was fog or rain or if the grapevine was open. And I finally realized I can't control the weather. All I can do is when I wake up, see what it's like, and then make the best decision for my safety. That's it. And once I realized that, it took a lot of stress off of me. Because no matter how much I worried, it wasn't going to change. So letting go, prioritizing and letting go, those are big words right now. Take them to heart. Second thing is something that I've been hearing several times over the last few days and that I want to share with you. And it's a 2-parter. 2A, self-care is not selfish. And 2B, self-care is not a reward. Self-care, first of all, isn't selfish. Just because we want to take some time to get our nails done or our hair done or take a nap or do the things that are going to make us healthier and feel better and have more enthusiasm later, that's not selfish. Always remember the airplane. Put your oxygen mask on first before you help somebody else with theirs. We have to make sure we are taking care of ourselves before we try to take care of everyone else. But also, those moments of self-care are not a reward. We don't have to earn them. Everybody deserves to have some time to replenish themselves, to renew their spirit, their mind, and their heart, so that they can be ready to be with others. So make sure that self-care is one of those priorities that you put on the list. Don't forget to have some time for yourself. I'm doing that today. If I could show you my desk without breaking my camera here, my desk is almost completely clear. My keys are here, my mask is here, my headphones that I'm not using right now are here. But other than that, my desk is clear. And my book bag that's going home with me, all it has is what I need for me. My wallet, my car keys, my little bag of markers that I carry with me, but no work. Because I recognize that this weekend for me is going to be self-care. And I deserve it. So do you. Number 3 tip, find solitude. I know some of you are like, you don't know what you're talking about. I have a house full of people, or I'm going to have a house full of people. Things need to be cleaned. I have children. I have, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't matter. try to find at least 5 minutes of silence and or solitude in your day to just take a breath. Sometimes when I feel like I'm stressed and I need that silence, but I'm going from place to place, I take it in the car. I take the long way, I take a little detour, and I spend a little time either in silence or with some spiritual music, or with a nice podcast, or something that's just going to help me breathe and relax. I just recently found this podcast that is really for liturgists and musicians, but I really loved it. I am one, so I really love it, but it's meant to help you pick music for the next Mass that's coming up. So I listened to the one on Thanksgiving Day just to see what songs they suggest for Thanksgiving out of curiosity. And it was great because they said, oh, we suggest this song, and then they played it. And then we suggest this song, and they played it. So I had my own little Thanksgiving playlist right there. And I listened to that on my way home the other day from work, and it was so beautiful. So take some time to do that, even if you can't find a minute to sit out on the patio by yourself with a cup of coffee, or you don't have a little chapel area or a little prayer area in your home right now because you have a lot of people there. If you have to go to the market or Target, take an extra long drive. Give yourself a few minutes to just breathe. And the fourth tip is one that I've been seeing everywhere, and not just in a religious sense and at religious stores and such either, but everywhere, and that is gratitude. We have found that our spirits are lifted and our hopes are held higher when we can look around and see the blessings that are around us. Sometimes the blessing comes in the chaos. Sometimes the blessing is in all the family that's suddenly surrounding you, or all the cooking that you need to do, or all the dishes. Think about the people that don't have food for their table, or who don't have a lot of family to invite over. And that'll help us feel a little bit more blessed with what we have, even if it does make a little bit more of a mess. Let's find the blessing in the mess, because all of it is good. So be grateful. Thank God for everything that we have, and allow God to permeate our lives so that we're not stressed over these holidays and we can truly enjoy our families and some time for ourselves. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and in the meantime, take good care of yourself.